What's up, y'all? It's JC. If you're new, welcome to the channel. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. And man, we got some bad news out of Houston, man. My Houston Rockets. Fred VanVleet, point guard, reported by Shams, has torn his ACL. And he is more than likely out for this upcoming NBA season. Huge blow. Huge blow, no way around it. You think of Fred VanVleet, steady. Freddie is what I like to call him, man. Takes care of the ball. He's going to distribute, hard nose, plays defense. Underrated in my opinion. Not underrated, but I feel like people short sell him in some aspects of his game, right? But man, that's a huge blow. You think of this Rockets team. You get KD, the biggest news of this offseason, you get KD. You add in guys like Dorian Finney-Smith, Clint Capella. You retain some guys, right? You get Steven Adams back, who had a kind of a resurgence or bounce back year this past season. Not this past, but last season. You still have the young guys, Amen Thompson, Bari, Tari, Reed Shepard. Man, this is just because Fred was the engine. Fred was the engine. He kept things afloat in a sense, right? You think of Fred VanVleet, like I said, I call him Steady Freddy. He's going to not turn the ball over. He's going to play defense. He's going to distribute. And, he's a threat from the three-point line, from, beyond the arc. So, oh, man, this is just bad news, man. It's like a team that had, championship or Western Conference Finals aspirations. You lose Fred VanVleet. I'm not saying it's the end of the season. I'm not saying just call the season off, but he was a major piece. He was a major piece. I don't think people realize. Well, let me rewind. Last season, Fred VanVleet, he got off to a horrific shooting performance or shooting. He wasn't shooting the ball great at all. But if you watch the games, I know you can just go look on. If you just look at the stat sheet, like, oh, Fred VanVleet is playing horrible. Like, no, Fred VanVleet is not turning the ball over. He's playing defense. His shot isn't just going in. That was his knock these past that last season, right? As stretches during the season, especially in the beginning of the season. And then there was a time when he got hurt, and we saw what happened to the team. I think the team started losing. They were on a losing streak. Fred came back, went on a winning streak. It is no secret. Is no, oh no, Fred is important. And what happened when it came to the playoffs? Yes, of course, the Rockets were the number 2 seed in the West, right? But the team outside of Fred and outside of Steven Adams, and a couple other guys, didn't really have any experience in the playoffs, right? It was a lot of guys' first time in the playoffs. Fred, I think after game 1, game 2, Fred VanVleet was the best player on the court for the Houston Rockets. That's a fact. I could be mistaken. Maybe it was after game 1, 2. I think it was after game 2. He was the best player on the court for the Rockets. I know Alpy did his thing too. Shout out Alpy. But a major blow. So what happens next? What happens next? I know I know this is bad, man. But I know Ime has, he has a plan. Reed Shepard. We calling on Reed Shepard, number 3 overall pick. 2 years ago? This is his time. I'm not expecting Reed Shepard to be an all NBA player, but he's got his chance now. Who else? You're just looking at, and that's the thing about the Rockets, man. You look at the roster, it's like we're heavy with the forwards, centers, forwards, the wings, forwards, all like we got that. We didn't have a lot of depth at the guard spot. So Reed Shepard, Amen, did he take a step with his, as the primary ball handler? I won't put him up there yet. A lot of folks were kind of, maybe he was going to be the point guard of the future, be that point forward type. Like, don't get me wrong, I've been saying this for a while, even since his rookie season. I'm like, he is going to be the one, but I don't think he's that guy when it comes to being a primary ball handler. I don't think so. Of course, KD can handle a little bit, but he's not a primary ball handler. You know, the Rockets just don't have the depth. So Reed Shepard going down, you got JD Davison. I'm not sure if he's just a preseason guy. You see what he does, training camp, but the spot is going to be available. It's going to be available. JD Davison, correct me if I'm wrong, coming off a G League MVP, so he can play, and he might have been drafted because he was drafted by the Celtics. He might have been Ime's guy. I'm not. Ime might have been, Ime might have drafted him. So we'll see what how this preseason shapes out, how the next couple of days shape out. You're looking at the vets in free agency. A couple of guys I saw, DeLon Wright. Who else? Campaign. I think he's in there too. Of course, Russell Westbrook is the name that pops up immediately. Former Rocket, former teammate of Kevin Durant with the OKC Thunder when they were younger and made the run to the finals. Patrick Beverley, maybe throw that name out there. People, these are guys, these are vets who, they have experience in Houston. Patrick Beverley, that's where his career kicked off at, man. I was a huge Patrick Beverley fan back when him and James Harden were the starting backcourt. I think he took over with Jalen took the back seat. But yeah, man, those are some guys thrown out there in free agency. Also, another possibility, you go out and make a trade for somebody. I know Corey Josephs, he's also another guy in free agency. So it's like, man, where do you go from here, man? Where do you go from here? In the comments, let me know, man. My Rockets fans, how do you feel about Freddie, man? Fred VanVleet tearing his ACL. And what do you think are the next moves that the Rockets should make, man? Should they go out and sign a vet in free agency? Should they, trade for somebody? Or should they just, kind of stay put and let these young guys, do their thing? In the comments, let me know. On this memory here at Rocket Park. This theme. Somebody needs a basket. We're gonna see when the Pablo post. Snacks. Tell me yesterday, HBC.
Man, once again, man, I appreciate you having me, man. And congrats, man, on the platform. And I say keep it going, keep doing your thing.